Well, good morning, Elijah. We're glad to have you.
Daniel, it's a joy to be with you and with River Road Baptist Church.
Wonderful, wonderful. So first, I want to let our folks know a little bit about who you are, and then ask you to help us get to know Baptist World Alliance a little better. We have long been a partner with Baptist World Alliance, and now's a wonderful time for us to learn a little bit more about the ministry that we share together. So I want to tell our folks that Elijah Brown is a Texas native, became the General Secretary of Baptist World Alliance in January of 2018. So maybe some days you still feel like a newbie around there.
More often than I'd want to admit.
I'm sure. General Secretary, by the way, is the title that they've given to the Executive Director or CEO. We might use those titles. Previously, Elijah served in a Christian human rights organization based in Virginia, and in a previous life was also a religion professor at East Texas Baptist University. I believe he's got some pastoral experience as well. Something we share in common, we're both sons of Baptist ministers too, so sort of taking up the family trade. Elijah earned a PhD from University of Edinburgh in Scotland, and I learned that his academic expertise lies in world Christianity, human rights, religious liberty, missions, conflict, peace building. So you can see how he's uniquely situated to his work at Baptist World Alliance. But perhaps most importantly, Elijah is married to Amy, and together they parent three wonderful children in the Northern Virginia area. So that's a little bit about you, Elijah, that I'm able to share with our folks. If you don't mind, please correct anything that I got incorrectly there. And if you can introduce us to Baptist World Alliance a little bit.
Well, Daniel, thank you so much. It was a generous introduction, and I'm grateful to be with you and to have had a friendship with you over these last couple of years, and to continue to celebrate River Road Baptist Church as a key global impact church with the Baptist World Alliance. Founded in 1905, the BWA has been drawing Baptists together from around the world for now almost 115 years. In the 1940s, the BWA temporarily relocated from London to Washington, D.C. to avoid some of the aerial bombings that were occurring during World War II. And about 6 months after that temporary relocation, the Baptist building in London was destroyed by a bomb. And so we've been in the Washington, D.C. area ever since World War II. Today, the Baptist World Alliance has 240 different conventions and unions in 125 countries and territories, representing about 47 million Baptists around the world.
I would like to ask a little bit about our partnership with Baptist World Alliance. On the one hand, we support your organization as a member body, and that enables us to, by extension, do some things that we're perhaps not able to do ourselves here in Richmond. So we send some funds for you to do some work on our behalf, but we also know that partnership's a two-way street. So what does it mean for us to partner with you? What do you ask of us as sort of the other side of that partnership?
Well, first of all, I'd ask for all of us to pray for our worldwide Baptist family. So many who are facing really significant challenges around the world and in so many different places. And so many of our Baptists are a praying people. I think about around a month ago, we got a note from a Baptist in South Sudan who said that they had called for a 24-hour fast to pray for our worldwide Baptist family during this COVID-19 crisis. I was cleaning through some older emails last night, and I came across an email from a friend in Kentucky who said that he was fasting 1 day a week to pray for the worldwide Baptist family. What does it mean for us to pray together? Last year, I went up to the border of Venezuela on the Colombian side, and some of you may remember that the U.S. tried to send in some aid, and it all got stopped on a bridge. Well, I went to that bridge, and we stood there, and we prayed for Venezuela. Venezuela has had the greatest economic collapse of any country in modern history outside of civil war. And as part of an initiative to try to encourage people to pray, I was able to secure some Venezuelan notes to bring back with me. And then I passed those out to various people and said, as you look at this note, would you say a prayer for the people in Venezuela? Well, one of our partners in Tajikistan received one of those notes, and he emailed end of last year around Christmas time, and he said, my 16-year-old son has framed this Venezuelan note, and we pray as a family for Venezuela and for Venezuelan refugees and the work of Baptists that are there. So what does it mean to be part of this global praying family where people in Tajikistan are praying for Venezuelans and people in southern Sudan are fasting for a worldwide family, and those of us in Virginia have an opportunity to join into this powerful prayer movement? By the way, in Venezuela today, the situation is so challenging and so difficult that to purchase a Bible will cost you the equivalent of 1 month of a full salary. Bibles are being confiscated and sold on the black market for their paper value in a country where just virtually all supplies have come to a complete standstill. When I was there with one of the Venezuelan mission leaders, he said, in this incredible crisis that we're facing, we've been continuing to work to try to mobilize home missionaries to spread a gospel of hope and help across the country. So I said, well, how many churches have they planted? He said, well, in this last year, these Venezuelan missionaries have planted 32 Baptist churches with an average attendance of about 25 adults and 50 children. And I said, well, are these full-time? Are these paid individuals or volunteers? And he said, no, we pay them full-time. And I said, look, I know it's a really sensitive question, so you don't have to answer, but I have no context. What would you pay a full-time Venezuelan missionary who's planting churches today? And he said, no, I don't mind sharing. And I'll give you the number, Daniel, but I've shared this story several times. And after I shared this story, my wife said, you've got to stop sharing that number because it's just too little. And it is just not enough. And so she said, if you share this number, would you inflate the number so that those who want to support these Venezuelan missionaries can not only support them, but give them a pay raise while they're doing it? So I'm confessing, this is the inflated number that would give them a pay raise. $10 a month.
Wow.
$120 per year would fully fund a Venezuelan missionary who's planting churches today inside of that country. And I think about another sister Baptist church here in Virginia this last year, which gave took up a special Christmas offering and raised $4,000 to support Venezuelan missionaries who are sharing the gospel of hope and help right now in the midst of this incredible crisis that the world is facing. So what does it mean for River Road? It does mean to be a praying church. It means to be a sharing church that shares about what God is doing around the world. It means to be a giving church. And it means to be a joining church. And in particular here, Daniel, I would highlight that next July, in July 2021, the Baptist World Alliance will be hosting the 22nd Baptist World Congress in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Now, that was meant to be this summer, but we had to postpone 1 year for obvious reasons. But it would be a joy to have many from River Road Church to come and to meet these Venezuelan missionaries, to meet people from Syria, to meet leaders from Russia, to meet leaders from all around the world, and to see that you are part of a beautiful mosaic of Baptists in 125 countries and territories.
Wow, that's really incredible. I would love for us to send a great group of River Roaders to Brazil. If we do have some folks who perhaps would not be able to travel themselves, but might have the means to help others get there, might we be able to do that through Baptist World Alliance?
Absolutely. And, this particular time, we not only have the full Congress, but we also have a youth section. And one of our priorities has been to try to, how do we help get youth leaders there and young leaders and people from really economically challenging contexts. And let me give you an example. Last year, I ran a little thought experiment and it went along these lines, Daniel. I said, I wonder what the average take-home salary is for Baptists around the world. Now, it's an average. So I use some World Bank data and I use some country data, and I thought about our different BWA members and all of these different countries. And so it's an approximation, but it gives us a ballpark. In Africa today, the average Baptist brings home less than $1,500 per year. And so I think about the fact that 25 Kenyans have already committed to come to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And close to 100 Nigerians have committed to come, and 25 South Africans have committed to come. And so I would absolutely say, River Road, you should be there. And if you can't be there, please give toward scholarship so that we can make sure that people around the world who have these real economic challenges are able to stand alongside their Baptist family to learn, to listen, and to help lead this global movement.